William Shatner just won't die. Okay, so I was aware that Shatner was 90 a while ago, and then there was this proposal, or this story that they had proposed a Star Trek TV series of him returning as Kirk because they're desperate to get their contract signed again or renewed, extended with Paramount CBS. Secret Hideout is just throwing anything they can at the wall, and if they can get a show that sounds like Star Trek with a Star Trek actor attached, they might get their contract extended. And once they get the contract extended, they can do whatever they want. They can keep doing Discovery era crap no one wants, but they just need to get that contract signed. So they've mentioned that Shatner was 93, and I'm like, God, how is he going to do this at 93? Are they going to de-age him? Are they going to have him play an ancient version of himself, like to bookend the series or episodes or something? Like, how are they going to do this? And then I saw today he's 94, and I'm like, my God, is he going to get to 100? When is he just going to go? And I thought, God, that's dark. I thought, why do I hate him so much? Well, he's just a horrible person. I've met him in person, he was horrible. I've heard nothing but bad stories about him my whole life. I didn't want to meet him. I went to an evening with William Shatner because I thought, well, I can see him. I can say I've seen Shatner live, I don't have to meet him. And then he was at a event where there were other actors I were going to I wanted to meet. So I thought, well, he's here. You may as well get a signature in person rather than just buy a random one, because I'd gotten signatures from most of the Star Trek actors, and the only ones I hadn't been able to meet, like James Doohan and Majel Barrett, and DeForest Kelly, I got signatures that other people had done that didn't have names on them or anything like that. And I'm like, I don't want one like that, because I've got this this big folio of Star Trek actor autographs and not have Shatner in there, really. So I thought, okay, I'll meet him. And he was horrible, and I was horrible back to him, and I got in his head, and it was funny. I got a video about that story. But yeah, I just thought, God, why is he still around? And I mean, part of it is simply that he can't stop. He keeps working, and a lot of people have respect for the fact that he's reinvented himself, and he sort of turned his very negative sort of stereotype of himself into a parody that turned into a whole other character that became an Emmy-winning character on an Emmy-winning series, Boston Legal and everything. So that was kind of amazing that he managed to pull that off. But he never liked fans. He never liked Star Trek. He never got Star Trek. He only kept doing the movies because they paid him money. And it wasn't until late in his career that he started to possibly get what fandom was. He did a documentary about him realizing what fandom was, and he still felt scripted and like it was just a concept as opposed to a real actual experience of his. But I realized the reason why he keeps going and can't stop is because he can't stop because he'd have to sit with himself and be with himself and look at himself. And he's a horrible person. Even Nimoy stopped talking to him in the end before he died. Everyone goes on about what great friends they were, and no one mentions the fact that Nimoy stopped talking to him a few years before he died, because he just couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't deal with him. And they still act like they were great friends, and I saw him posting some videos of him and Nimoy doing stuff. I'm like, that was in the 90s when he used to talk to you. But yeah, it just irks me that, like, Nichelle's gone, and Jimmy's gone, and DeForest's gone, and all these great actors are gone, and Shatner's still here. He just won't die. He'll probably die on the stage. He won't retire, because if he retired, he'd have to actually sit and look at himself and be with himself for a moment. He can't do that. He just has to keep going forward. Like a lot of narcissists, they're totally self-involved. They can't actually look at themselves. So yeah, I don't wish him ill. I don't want him to, but I'm just surprised that he's still here, and like, really, because he's not doing any good service to Star Trek at the moment. He is a problematic embarrassment online. He's constantly saying things very MAGA-ish. He can't actually join MAGA because he's Jewish. He can't quite cross that line with the neo-Nazis and pseudo-neo-Nazis. But he just keeps saying embarrassing things, and I'm just like they haven't included him in anything. They exclude him from all the promos. They take Kirk out and all that. And it's not just that they don't like Kirk because he's a white male. It's also they don't like Shatner and they don't want to promote him. So yeah, happy birthday, William Shatner. You're still here. Yeah, I hope he doesn't get attached to this new show, because like I said, all they need is a name and a concept, a pitch that vaguely resembles Star Trek, and they might get their contract extended. And that's all they're trying to do. It doesn't mean they're actually going to make the show or it's going to be any good, or they're going to do anything other than just make another Discovery era piece of dreck. But yeah, so I hope it doesn't work. I hope Ryan holds out to work with Metalis again and do Legacy proper, and I hope Shatner doesn't get attached to this in any way, because I don't want that contract to be extended. We need Secret Hideout out, and we need another person coming off for Paramount CBS to take Star Trek back in-house and, produce actual Star Trek. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Shatner's 94th birthday. Yeah. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Did I say that already? At least he went to space, though. That was a moment. I think he was 90 when he did that, so I think that's why in my head I think it was only being 19. I'm surprised every time I hear a new number, like 94. But, yeah. Here's to 95.